Om. 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 Sahana bhavatu. Sahano bhunaktu. Sahaviryam karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. Ma vidvishavahai. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone.
Sairam.
So we have been studying the mantra Pushpam from Aruna Prashna of Taittiriya Aranyaka. We have covered, I think, a couple of mantras so far. So we'll continue from where we left off. Yupam ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Vayurva apam ayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. Yo vayurayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Apo vai vayurayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. Ya evam veda. Yopamayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Vayurva apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. Yo vayorayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Apo vai vayorayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. Ya evam veda. Yopamayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Vayurva apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. Yo vayorayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Apo vai vayorayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. Ya evam veda. Last week, when I discussed these two mantras, actually I have already covered. The previous one, hereafter I have sort of ideally I should be starting with the Opamayatanam Veda, each mantra. So I have repeated these two from previous section. So don't think that there's some error. So I'm basically starting from the last two mantras, or last two mantra statements, I would say, from the last session. In terms of pronunciation, the only word which has some aspirated consonant is the word bhavati. The bha is the fourth letter in the pa varga, so make sure that it's aspirated. The rest of the letters are non-aspirated consonants, so it should be simpler to pronounce. Okay, so that's as far as pronunciation goes. I will look at the pada split, that is the sandhis split, and seeing each word individually. Yopam ayatanam veda is yah apam ayatanam veda. Yah apam becomes yopam because the visarga becomes o, and the becomes an avagraha. That means it is not explicitly pronounced. Okay, it's silent. Yopam, plus a becomes ma, so that's how you get yopam ayatana. Yah apam ayatana. Ayatanavan bhavati, there are no different, no changes. The next mantra is Vayurva Apam Ayatanam. It is Vayu plus Va. The Visarga Vayuhu becomes Ir, and that's how it becomes Vayurva. That's because of Sandhi. Apamayatanam, it's plus A becomes Ma. So that's how you get Apamayatanam. It's Apam Ayatanam. Ayatanavan Bhavati. No change. Yo again is Yaha, which has become Yo because of Sandhi. The Visarga becomes O. Vayoho, Vayorayatanam, it's Vayoho Ayatanam. The Visarga becomes Ir because of Sandhi, and that's how you get Ir plus A becomes Ra. Vayo Ra Yatanam. Okay, so that's because of Sandhi that you get Vayo Rayatanam. Split, it is Vayoho Ayatanam Veda. Ayatanavan Bhavati. Apo is actually Apaha, the Visarga becomes O. Vai, Vayoho Ayatanam. Is Vayoho Ayatanam, just the way it was, became Vayor Ayatanam, here also it's Visarga becomes Ir and Ayatanam. Ayatanavan Bhavati. Ya Evam Veda is Yaha Evam Veda. The Visarga again gets dropped. I think some of you may wonder why we have to know the split of the mantra. Because I see one of the ways in which the Veda mantras are chanted is the Pada Pata. So, Vedas are chanted in multiple ways. Generally, what is normally chanted is a Samhita Pata, which is the way the mantras are, sung or stated together and so on. But Pada Pata is also one of the ways in which it is chanted. The reason the Pada Pata is important is each word we should understand the meaning so that we can have the appropriate bhava in us when we are chanting each word. That's the reason the word split is very important. And also to understand it grammatically, to understand the meaning of the words, also the word split is essential. Okay. Let's look at the meaning. Yaha. Yopam is Yaha Apam. Yaha means who. Apam. Of this water. It's an object here, the word Apam. Apam. Ayatanam. Of the water. Ayatanam, the support cause. This ayatanam is a word which is getting repeatedly used. As we said, I used the word support or cause or abode as the meaning of the word ayatanam. Ayatanam is showing the action of the Lord in creating the world, sustaining it, dissolving it. All that is contained in this word ayatanam. And the action of the Atman is ayatanam. The manifestation of the Atman is ayatanam. Okay. So ayatanam is an action in an active state. Okay. Veda, who knows? Whoever knows the activities, the support or the causation of this apam, this principle of apam, which we have discussed as water, sky, consciousness, and so on. To a great extent, you can say it is representing the Purusha, original Purusha. So whoever knows how this Purusha acts, how this Purusha supports, this world creation itself goes on. Okay, whoever knows that, ayatanavan bhavati. That person themselves will possess this quality of ayatanam in them, bhavati. They will become. So, which I have said, this gets repeated again and again. Brahmavid, Brahmavid bhavati. Whoever knows the Brahman becomes Brahman himself. Whoever contemplates on divinity will become divine. So, this is the refrain in this mantra. Okay. I will go through it quickly again and again, but I think it's the fact that the mantra is repeated means then we have to remind again and again. What is specific to this mantra is Vayu. Vayu is wind, as we generally say. It is one of the 5 elements, also you can say Vayu, or the Lord of the Vayu, the divine principle which is one. Okay. Vayu, Va. I think the last, 1 or 2 sessions ago, I've used the word Va as or and. But the more we see in this mantra, the Va and the word Vai are interchangeably used. You can see that. So which also emphasizes, it's something like an emphasis, like certainly, indeed, truly, verily, that kind of a meaning also is attributed to us. So I have tried to keep it that way hereafter. So Vayurva, indeed, Vayu is the apam ayatanam of the water or sky. I think I should put, just for clarification, then Vayu indeed is apam ayatanam. Okay, so Vayu itself is the support cause of apa, this concept of apa. Ayatanavan bhavati. So one becomes ayatanavan, one who possesses the ayatana. So Vayu itself is ayatanavan bhavati. Whoever knows it also will become ayatanavan. Okay. Yaha, who, Vayoho, of the wind. Ayatanam, support, cause, abode. So whoever knows what is the cause and the effect of abode of this Vayu. See, Vayu itself is the cause of apaha. But then what is the cause of this ayatana? Vayoho. Oh, but its ability to cause, also you can look at it that way. Knows Veda ayatanavan bhavati. That person also will become ayatana. Apaha vai vayoho. Apaha. So here it is the first vibhakti, or the noun form of the simple noun form of the word apaha, which is water, sky, consciousness. Why indeed vayoho ayatanam. So water is the, so as I mentioned last time, Vayu is the cause of apaha. Apaha is the cause of Vayu. Apaha vai vayoho ayatanam. Okay. Ayatanavan bhavati ya evam vedam. Ayatanavan bhavati, whoever knows that, one becomes ayatanavan. That is one who has possessed the quality of ayatanam. Ya evam veda, whoever knows it. So as I mentioned in the past, all the mantras say each of those principles which that mantra discusses arose from apa. Then apa itself arose from that. So the cyclical nature in this creation is repeatedly mentioned. That is one reason every element was considered Brahman and worshipped by the Sanatana Dharma followers. Because everything originated from that divinity, and from that divinity it just originates. See, in some of the discourses, Swami has said that the devotee is the one who creates God. God creates the devotee. The devotee creates God. The devotee has the ability to make God manifest. When we say create, manifest. So if we pray to the Lord in a certain form and with a name, that form will manifest in front of our eyes, is what Swami says. That means we ourselves have created. So even the forms of Shiva, Narayana, all the names, all the forms are creations of the creation of God himself. With the original Lord is considered one is formless. then the world manifested. So all the forms which have been visualized, seen, perceived, are perceived by the devotees, great devotees, and that's how they have become divine forms which we worship today. So divinity itself is creation of refined mind, refined heart, as Swami says. So it's a cyclical process. Swami also says, without God, devotee, there's no God. Without God, there's no devotee. So there's that interdependence in everything in this world. Everything arises from something and it supports, which we also see in our own regular life. The parents support the children. The children will later on support the parents. So parents were support of the child. Then the child is a support of the parents. There's a very famous English quotation which Swami, the child is the father of man, or something like that. So the child is the father of man. So that cycle of creation and the cycle of life itself is that. So that is clearly described. And that divine origin and the divine destination, whoever knows that will become divine, is the essence of Mantra Pushpa. We'll continue. Now, I've taken some excerpts from one of Swami's discourses, Samashava's discourse. So let's go through that. Saraswati, which is the embodiment of our speech, is also referred to by an alternative name, Vagdevata. Sacred Saraswati, starting as the embodiment of our speech and spreading all over the place, has been exhibiting her divine power. She has thus been identifying herself with speech in the broad street of your heart and harmonizing herself with the intelligence and the thought one has. By identifying herself with Vayu, she has been moving about in the entire space, revealing herself to us as the Adibhuta, Adibhuta, and Adidevata. Saraswati has another alternative name, Saraha. This sacred deity that we associate with the speech also takes the place of Aditya, the sun, Agni, the fire, Vayu, the air in our heart, and represents the one common thing in these different aspects. So Saraswati has another name, represents one common thing in different aspects. So the word Saras actually means water. Saraswati means one who is filled with water is Saraswati. In this 1974 Summer Shava, Swami is talking a lot about various Vedic concepts. So in that context, and in that context, Swami is talking about Saraswati. Okay, so it is said, Vacha Saraswati Bishak. Vacha Saraswati Bishak. And Bishak is another synonym for Saraswati. It is a common practice in this world to cure any disease of the human body by some medicine. While we cure the disease in the physical body by the appropriate medicines, the impurities in our mind are cured by Saraswati in the form of Vak or speech. Thus, the name Saraswati is justified by her capacity to cure the diseases of the mind. Because Saraswati has the capacity to fill us with rasa or vijnana, she is also given the name Adidevata. Since Saraswati, with such capabilities, fills the sky, she also gives importance to Vayu and Agni. Because she fills the sky with water in the form of clouds, Saraswati sometimes stands for stream of flowing water. So, this word Saraswati gets used and we say, Saraswati is the mother of, all knowledge and so on. So Swami is giving the importance of Saraswati in multiple ways. Speech is Saraswati and it spreads everywhere. Vayu is that which moves. So Saraswati is also water flowing stream. So she always moves. So this movement of Saraswati is Vayu. We think Vayu means just wind, but actually Vayu is that which moves. That which constantly on the move is Vayu. So the speech has to move. Swami says that when we say something, it will move. And we will not know how far it travels. That's one reason Swami has given us the bhajans to be sung, so that when we speak, when we sing the name of the Lord, that vibration will travel everywhere. It will spread far. It will spread within us also. So that ability is the Vayu. Okay, when we say Vayu or Ayatanam Veda, it refers to that ability of things moving. And Apa, so in here also Swami has said, Swami Saraswati such fills the sky. We also said Apa is sky also. We've already covered Agni in the previous mantra, fire, and also Vayu. So there's an interconnection between this Apa principle, the sky, the fire, this fire principle, and Vayu, the wind principle, which is capable of moving everything everywhere. So the interconnectedness is nicely brought out. So as I mentioned, each element, even though it's manifests differently, it is the same thing which was there before. And it will become that also again. So that is the cyclical nature of creation which we witness. Okay, so we'll go to the next mantra. Yopam ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati asau vai tapan napam ayatanavan bhavati yo mushyata pata ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati apova amushyata pata ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda. Yopamayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati asau vai tapan ayatanavan bhavati yo mushyata pata ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati apova amushyata pata ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda. Yopamayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati asau vai tapan ayatanavan bhavati yo mushyata pata ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati apova amushyata pata ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda. In terms of aspiration, bhavati I have already mentioned. Bhava is the fourth letter in the Pavargas, it has been aspirated. Otherwise, the bhavati appears 3 times. Each of them, you know. Another point where I just wanted to point out is amush, yo mush. That sh is cerebral sh, mush, okay. Yo mush. Amush yatapati. Again, amush is cerebral sh. So the tongue should be raised. Tip of the tongue should be raised towards the roof of the mouth. Otherwise, it should be simpler. Okay, bhavati appears usually 4 times. Yeah. Let's look at the word split. Yopam ayatanam, we have already covered. Yaha becomes yo apam. Yopam ayatanam with ayatanavan bhavati. The specific is mantra for this one section is asau vai tapan. Asau vai, no change. Tapan, oh, I see. I don't know why it twice. Tapan apam, okay, becomes tapan apam. Okay, so we may ask why it should be in plus a become na, but actually it has become inna. Something to do with Vedic. That's matras involved. Asovai tapannapam ayatana. Tapan plus apa becomes tapannapa. Plus a becomes ma. So that's how you get tapannapam ayatana. Ayatanavan bhavati. Here it is yaha amushya tapataha ayatanam veda will become yomushya tapata ayatanam veda. So yomushya tapata is made of three words. Yaha amushya tapataha. Yaha amushya becomes yomushya. Okay, visarga becomes o. So you get yom, ya becomes silent. Yomushya. Tapataha, the visarga is dropped because of sandhi. So that's how you get yomushya tapata. But when it's spread, it's yaha amushya tapataha ayatanam veda. Ayatanavan bhavati, no change. Apahava becomes apova because of sandhi. The visarga becomes o, apova. Amushya tapataha, it's just joining of amushya and tapataha. The tapataha, the visarga at the end is dropped because of sandhi. Amushya tapata is visarga, because after visarga is dropped, it becomes tapata. What? From tapataha, it becomes tapata. Ayatanam. Ayatanaman bhavati. Ya evam veda. No change. Let's look at word-to-word meaning. Yaha apam, we have looked at of. Ayatanam support cause. Whoever knows, the activities of this apam will become an ayatanavan. He will become possessor of this principle of ayatanam. Asav. Asav means that one. Okay. This word asav comes from a root word called adas. Actually, many of you may know Purnamada Purnamita. That other is that. Okay. It is somewhere between this and that. Okay. That's how as asav. In this case, it is a masculine, because others says asav can be feminine also, but in this case it is masculine. Asav, that one. Why indeed? Tapan. So actually asav tapan is that one burns. Tapan means burning, heating, the tendency of fire or sun, the heat is tapan. So generally the word tapan is referred to as the heating and the burning power of the sun. Asav tapan means that one which burns. Okay, that one which burns, which is nothing but sun. Okay, that one, indeed, that one who burns, apam ayatam is the support of the apam. Yes, I should put up off. Okay. So fire, the sun, the heat of the sun becomes a support for apam. So whoever knows and that he is the ayatanavan. Okay, that one, the sun itself is ayatanavan. You can say ayatanavan bhavati. Yaha, who, amushya, of that one. See, for the asav, the noun, simple noun asav, the sixth form, sixth vibhakti, which means of that one, is amushya. From asav, it becomes amushya means of asav. Okay, of asav is amushya. So maybe I'll put within brackets so you will off. of Asal. Okay. So that's a 6 vibhakti or 6 form, noun form of the word. That's how you get amuchya of that one. Tapataha is a 6th noun form of tapan. Tapan is the first noun form. The 6th noun form is tapataha, means of tapan. Okay, so we can put that over here also. Okay. Ayatanam Veda. So the Ayatanam principle of this, of tapan, or this, of that one which burns. Okay. Yomush Shatapata Ayatanam Veda, whoever knows that. Whoever knows of the burning sun's Ayatanam. Ayatanavan Bhavati. He becomes Ayatanavan. Apahava, Apaha, that is sky or water consciousness. Va, indeed, Amushya Tapataha Ayatana. Water indeed is the cause of the fire. So fire, sun. Sun is the cause of Apaha. Apa is the cause of the sun. Okay. Ayatanam, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Ya Evam, whoever knows this. So again, so from the sun, Apa has come, from Apa, sun has come. That process of one becoming the other, whoever knows this principle, that person will become possessor of that quality. I have a small excerpt of Swami, we will read that. There is need for us to inquire into the origin of this water that is filling the sky. The water filling the sky. Okay. Apa is water as well as sky. The sun's rays fall on the ocean and these rays change the ocean water into clouds bearing water vapor. Aditya or the sun is responsible for the formation of these drops of water which later collect into clouds and become deposits of water. You have already learned that Aditya is a name synonymous with Bharata. Therefore, Bharata joins Aditya and produces this aspect of Saraswati. Here we notice that Aditya joins water and thus drops of water are produced. We see the oneness or the identical nature of the three aspects, Ida, Saraswati, Bharati. Later in these three aspects of Ida, Saraswati, Bharati are Indra, Vayu, and Vasu as well. So again, the Saraswati has come into being. So Aditya is also an aspect of Saraswati. I don't know whether some of you remember or have heard or listened to Swami's discourse on Gayatri. Sairam Sakwanti.
Yeah. What is the meaning of Vasu? Is it object?
It's not object, Auntie. So some of the forms of one of the forms in which maybe I could. There are Ashtavashus. See, just the way Aditya is 11, Vasus are 8. Okay. These are different manifestations of the same divine Purusha, and they control various aspects in this world, the running of the world. Vasu is the divine aspects which control us when in our younger age. I think I mean Vasu becomes Rudra and Aditya. I don't know whether you remember when we were covering Rudra. I have covered a little bit. Bhishma is considered to be one of the Vasus, incarnation of Vasu. Okay. So these are divine forms controlling various aspects of the running of the universe. If you want, I will bring some excerpt of Swami and discuss Vasu next time, Auntie, just for your purposes.
Thank you.
It's a digression from this particular point. So, Vasu, you can take it as another god for this purpose. Okay. Vayu is another god. Indra is another god. They are different divine energies which control different aspects. They're Ashtavashu. So, if I think I will bring next time, I will bring and discuss.
Thank you.
Okay, so Saraswati, sir, I don't know whether you listen to Swami's discourse on Gayatri, where Swami says Gayatri, Savitri, Saraswati. There are different aspects of energy which is symbolized by Gayatri itself. Gayatri is that which controls, protects the body. Saraswati protects our speech. Savitri protects our life. But they are all different manifestation of the same divine energy. Okay. So it is one transmuting itself into another and doing more or less the same function in a different plane. Okay, let's take it that way. So the interconnectedness of water, fire, sun, sky, all that is visualized or as a play of the divine by the rishis. And they experience them as divine play. And they witnessed water becoming water vapor, is filling the sky, as even the space around us. The humidity is because of the water. And the interplay of the sun's rays, the heat of the earth, all this makes life goes around in this world. And one is the cause of the other. That's the way the rishis witnessed. We'll go to the next mantra. Yopam ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Chandramava apam ayatanavan bhavati. Yas chandramasa ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Apo vai chandramasa ayatanavan bhavati. Ya evam veda. Yopam ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Chandramava apam ayatanavan bhavati. Yas chandramasa ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Apo vai chandramasa ayatanavan bhavati. Ya evam veda. Yopam ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Chandramava apam ayatanavan bhavati. Yas chandramasa ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Apo vai chandramasa ayatanavan bhavati. Ya evam veda. Most of the sounds are simple, except bhavati, which appears 4 times. Here the bha is aspirated. Otherwise, this mantra should be simpler for anyone to chant. No other aspirated consonants. Let's look at the word-to-word split. Yopam ayatanam veda is yaha apam ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Chandramava apam ayatanam is actually Chandramaha va apam ayatanam. Apam ayatanam, we have already looked at plus a becomes ma. Chandramaha, the visarga gets dropped because of sandhi. That's how it becomes Chandrama. When it's split, it's Chandramaha va apam ayatanam. Ayatanavan bhavati. The next one, Yas Chandramasa, is actually Yaha Chandramasaha. Yaha, the visarga gets dropped because of sandhi. So no, doesn't get dropped. It turns into ish because cha follows it. So yash, it becomes instead of yaha. Yes, Chandramasa. Chandramasaha, the visarga gets dropped because of sandhi. Okay. Yaha Chandramasaha Ayatanam Veda. When it's split. Ayatanavan Bhavati. Apaha Y becomes Apo Y because the Visarga becomes O because of Sandhi. Apo Y Chandramasaha. This Chandramasaha also the Visarga gets dropped because of Ayatanam following that. Following it. So Chandramasaha is the original form without when we split the Sandhi. Chandramasaha Ayatan. Ayatanavan Bhavati Yaevam Veda. We will look at the word-to-word meaning. Yaha Apam Ayatanam Veda. We have already discussed enough times, I think, so I will not dwell on it. Ayatanavan Bhavati. One becomes Ayatanavan. Chandramaha. Chandramaha is the root word of this is called Chandramas. Chandramas. The first simple noun form is Chandramaha. So it's usually the moon or the moonlight. Okay. Chandra is supposedly be camphor, white camphor. So Chandrama is the one whose light, one who is capable of making everything becomes white, like camphor. I think I have earlier on in some context, I think something which we're discussing, I mentioned this. Chandrama means that which the light of moon which spreads and cleanses everything and makes everything pure white. That quality of moonlight is called Chandrama. Va, indeed, a palm of water. Ayatana. So that is the support of the sky. Ayatanavan Bhavati. One who, the moon itself is Ayatanavan. Okay, he becomes the Ayatanavan. Yaha Chandramasa, whoever, Chandramasa of that moon. So Chandramaha is the first noun form. Chandramasa is the sixth noun form, sixth vibhakti. This is first vibhakti, first noun form. This is sixth noun form. Chandramaha is the first noun form of the root word Chandramas. Sixth noun form is Chandramasaha. That means of the moon. Of the moon. Ayatanam Veda. So, who knows the cause of the Chandramaha? Who knows? Ayatanavan. Whoever knows the cause will become Ayatanavan. Apaha. Apaha, the principle of sky, water, or consciousness. Indeed, why? Chandramasaha Ayatana is the cause support of Chandramasa. Again, as you can see, Chandramaha is the support of Apaha. Apaha is the support of Chandrama. And that's the way the meaning goes. We will look at a couple of excerpts I have. Those who chant the Pranava Om as a physical sound will get only physical benefits. The scriptures declare that those who recite the Om with concentrated mind reach the Chandra Loka, the region presided over by the moon god. The Nunal word Chandraloka is not to be confused with the physical moon which astronauts from America and Russia have set foot on. From his mind emerged the moon, and from his eyes the sun. Chandrama manaso jatah, chaksho suryo ajayata. Swami is quoting from Purusha Suktam, which we have already studied. When I speak of Chandra, moon, and Surya, sun principles, students should not confuse them with the physical sun and moon. The moon is a representation of the mind. meaning that which thoughts pertaining to the world, meaning that with thoughts pertaining to the world, one attains the Chandra Loka, a plane of existence where mental delights are experienced. I don't know whether whoever has been part of Gita Vahini will know that Krishna says when you meditate on Om at the time of death, okay, one who reaches me, he says. But if that meditation of the Lord is not there, then we go to Chandra Loka. So Swami is sort of referring to that. And also the Chandrama Manaso Jata. Yes, sister.
Sai Ram, brother. Yes, we studied that Om to be remembered at the last minute of our life. But here, what is it's meant by like a Om as a physical sound? What is physical sound and physical benefits?
See, generally we'll say Om. So
Yeah.
everyone focuses on how you chant Om physically, the sound which is produced.
Yes.
So we
what is
pay
physical
attention to
benefit talking about?
U, Ma, and so on. So that's what we do. But what Swami is saying is, if there are three distinctions of how we can chant Om.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. See, one, some people say, oh, your mind is thinking something. You are just saying, oh. So what happens? You still get benefit. But the benefits are only physical level.
Yes, yes.
Okay. If you just focus on the sound, Om, with your mind not distracted, then you will reach Chandra Loka. Then on third one is, while chanting Om, you also meditate on the Lord. You will reach Him. This is what Gita says. So there are three levels of in which we can chant. Like we may go for bhajans, we may sing bhajans, clapping, and we looking at here or there. We are not even paying attention to the bhajan. Who is singing? Oh, they are singing well, or the sound is good, or something like that. Physical benefit only, even bhajan. If you pay attention to only the words, not distracted by who is singing, who is not singing, all that, and just focus on that, then at least we'll get the benefit of the name in our mind. Our mind will become peaceful. If you look here and there, our mind will be peaceless. If you think of at least the words, at least our mind will be peaceful. You know, Daya Karo, something like that. But Swami will say, if you think of the Lord and sing bhajan, then you merge with Him. Okay, there are three levels of existence.
Thank you.
Bhuvaha, Suvaha. Bhu is physical. Bhuvaha is the mental. Suvaha is spiritual. So that's why we chant three Gayatri also. Bhu. We tell ourselves, understand that there's a physical aspect, there's a mental aspect, there's a spiritual aspect. Even in Om, it is there. Uma. So that is what, there are many other discourses where Swami has taught. So here he is talking about, even if you just sit and do something, there will be some physical benefit, even if the mind is not focused.
When they do the pranayama, then the breathing is good, all physical related.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah, yes. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. The sound also has physical vibration in the body. Because Om is a sound which nothing blocks. Consonants block the sound. If there are no consonants, the sound is free flowing, uninterrupted, unimpeded. That's why the sound Om is very, very powerful, because it's an unimpeded sound. It's unimpeded by any consonants. That means no thought should be disturbing us. The mind which flows without any blockages is a flowing mind. But if certain thoughts can just put barriers, the consonants are considered. So Om is something which goes, it doesn't touch anything, nothing can touch it. That's why Om is all vowels ending in So it's okay. So there are physical benefits to that also. Any blockages, energy blocks in a body also will get removed by the chanting of Om. And all ailments are because of blocks of energy in the body. And when the energy doesn't flow properly in the body, and just like people have a block in the heart or whatever, all that can get cured. We may not need bypass. Okay, so physical benefit. So I will go to the next one. The sun represents the light of the eyes. When our vision, drishti, is merged with the creation, shrishti, we perceive the truth of the scriptures. Therefore, the term scripture, shastra, does not refer only to certain books. The command, sashana, of the eyes is shastra, meaning that the direct proof available through a clarified vision is the real scripture. For direct proof, pratyaksha pramana, sun is the basis. For proof by inference, anumana pramana, the mind or moon is the basis. For proof by sound, shabda pramana, speech is the basis. Therefore, humanness is transformed into divinity only when we have the unity and purity in thought, word, and deed, trikarana shuddhi. So Swami here is talking about the Chandrama, which we are talking about is the mind which is pure, which is one with thought, word, and deed. That's what Swami is saying. That's what is original, unpolluted Chandrama. Another excerpt I will read. Pipalada taught these truths to Sibhi. The sage went on to explain that there are two different paths which may be pursued by the earnest aspirant. One is bhava and the other is sadhana. One who meditates on the pranava with bhava, intense feelings, may not be able to realize his divinity. Even if he has some glimpses of the divine, they do not last long. The one who pursues the path of sadhana reaches the Surya Mandala, realm of the sun, and proceeds from there to the region of the Brahman. By the term Brahma, you may consider him as the four-faced deity or in some other form. But Brahman essentially means that which is all-pervading. To acquire Brahma Bhava, the awareness of Brahman, means being aware of this infinite vastness. Today's science is engaged in trying to explore the infinitesimal, minutest particle in matter. But spirituality pursues a different goal. It is concerned with exploring the infinite, Mahato Mahiya, what is vaster than the vastest. It is concerned with expanding. It's concerned with expanding consciousness. Brahman means infinite. Chandra refers to the mind. Surya refers to the eye, the faculty of vision. Only the person who is able to understand the Vedantic meanings of these terms can comprehend the nature of spirituality. So, Swami is talking about able to understand the Veda. So when Swami we use the word Veda, ya evam Veda, that means one who understands this, experientially understands this, that person only can comprehend the nature of spirituality, Swami says. So as you can see, we have looked at sun, Asavaitapan, and Chandrama, the mind. And Swami, they refer to physically seeing things, pratyaksha, and also mentally seeing certain things. And there should be congruence between both. and understand these principles properly. And one who knows this will know that it is nothing but the gift of God. And these are not the moon principle and sun principle. And Swami has also spoke about bhava and sadhana, which is, one is a solar thing, one is a lunar. Both have to be present. Bhava alone is not sufficient, is insufficient. Swami says sadhana is also important. That's why we have already covered sun, now the moon. But both of them are integral for a devotee. And they are all related to what God does. So, and you can see, even if you look at the previous one, so meditation, we have already discussed about meditation. So these are different paths through which, see, to acquire Brahma Bhava means being aware of the infinite vastness. Always meditating on that infinite vastness of the Lord and how things work on this world. By doing that, by coming to know that, we ourselves can become divine in nature, is what the Mantra Pushpam is teaching. This is what I have prepared today for sharing. I will stop here. If there are questions, and if I have some answer, I will share. Yes,
Brother,
Sairam, sister.
Sairam, brother. The next page, can you please go to the next page, please?
Yes.
See, it is concerned with the expanding the consciousness. That means we wanted to see the divine in all beings, right? That's the meaning of it, right?
Yes, sister.
Okay, thank you. Sairam.
Sairam. It's not, see, it is, when we say expanding consciousness, or we imagine that, God is everywhere, it doesn't help. That is just bhava. Okay, just thinking, oh, God is everywhere, in everyone is there. But sadhana is live like that. One thing is to see the other person is divine. Oh, they are also my family. They are also an extension of me. And just thinking is no use. That is just bhava. But that has to result in action. We live thinking that the other person is an extension of me. If you do not have that, then there's no belief. That's why Swami is saying in the previous one, Pranava with intense feeling may not be able to realize this divinity. All of us will sit and say, oh, I see the Swami in that person. I see it is just mind, just playing games sometimes. But does it translate into our words, thoughts, actions about people around us? I think that's very, very important. That requires sadhana. So that is the real expansion. So just not thinking. Okay, so that's my understanding. So if there are no questions, I think we can close the session today. And we'll continue next week. Okay, Sai. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sairam, everyone.